Hello, hackers! Welcome to CSE 365. I'm Jan, and in this video, we will learn about the class itself. Other videos will teach you about cybersecurity, hacking, all this fun stuff. This video, I'll talk about how to survive in this class. I'll introduce the introduction of cybersecurity, and it's going to be great. The class is going to be great, but you have to be ready for some initial discomfort. When Neo woke up outside of the Matrix for the first time, he asked, "Why do my eyes hurt?" And Morpheus said, "Because you've never used them before." You, the ASU student taking this class, has not used computer science like we're going to make you use computer science. ASU in general is a slow ramp up. You've done probably 2 years of preparation of CSE 110 and onwards and so on. And all of these things all together have forced you to do extremely little computer science. You're going to probably do more computer science in this class than you've ever done in your entire life. Unless you're such a badass that you've been doing computer science in whatever form that means to you for ages, and then you're ready. All right. This class is going to be hard. This class is real. Things get very real in it. It doesn't hold its punches, and it puts you through the ringer. It's by far the hardest undergrad course at ASU in computer science, except for maybe CSE 466. Maybe. Although I've now been told that since the old rough days of CSE 466 and the old easier days of CSE 365, the tide has shifted and 365 is now above. This is going to be a hard class. It'll also be a life-changing class for you. You're going to look back on this class and you'll be like, holy cow, that was wild. And it's going to be great. So just be prepared for an extremely difficult, life-changing experience. You may have heard about this thing called the trifecta. CSE 330, 340, 355, all these other random numbers. No. CSE 365, that is the trifecta alone. Alone, CSE 365 is going to be harder than all those classes combined. All this trifecta stuff, oh, I am taking the trifecta this semester, it's going to, no. Forget about the trifecta. After this course, you'll walk into trifecta, you'll walk out, and you won't even feel it. This course, it's the filter of ASU undergrad computer science. This course is where it's at. And this course is what you will take with you forever, deep in your heart, like a sort of persistent wound that just won't heal. All right, awesome. Let's move forward. You've had fun before in your life, presumably. And sometimes when you're having fun and you know you're having fun and you're going to say, what the fuck does this have to do with cybersecurity? When you're having fun, you know you're having fun. You think, oh, this is fun. This is great. I'm having fun right now. That's not what this course is going to be. And if it is, that's good for you. That's great. We should talk about grad school. But generally, this course, while you're having fun in this course, it's not going to feel like fun. This course is type 2 fun. Type 2 fun is when you look back in the far future, you wake up one day and you realize, oh, finally, I understand that I was having fun that whole time. Because that is the kind of course this is. This course is going to be awesome. It's going to be type 2 fun and you're going to love it. But not during the semester. Unfortunately for our teaching evals, not during the semester. You're going to love it in retrospect. Cool. All right. So, how much time do you think you will spend on this class? Well, why is my face in the middle of this? Well, here we go. We moved me out of the way. How much time will you spend in this class? The Arizona Board of Regents says that you're supposed to spend 9 hours of course time a week for a 3-credit course. At least 9 hours of course time. What does that mean? That means at least 9 hours of core time. I don't know where I was going with that thought. But most ASU classes are not like this. Most ASU classes don't require the full 9 hours a week in the course, at least 9 hours a week. Most ASU classes you're going to breeze through, especially until now. CSE 365 is ASU's correction for this. We have a lot of data on this, a lot of data. And if you can tell you that the median student, keep in mind, the median student, half the students in the class are going to spend more than the median student in this spectrum, and half will spend less than the median student. The median amount of hours that a student spends on this course a week is 10 hours a week. Just over that minimum. That's the minimum, the median that a student takes. It's, think about it like we've kidnapped you, we've shoved you into a different language. You're learning cybersecurity. This is an immersion program in cybersecurity, and you are going to learn because there's no alternative. Awesome. So, what will you learn in all of that wide, crazy amount of time? Well, first, you will learn a huge amount of concepts. And this isn't stuff that we'll necessarily teach you. A lot of this you should know by now. You're a third-year undergrad in computer science. In the same way that you didn't have a class on learning how to read, ASU doesn't have a class on, let's say, learning Linux, on very basic stuff about computing that you should be able to learn on your own as a junior in college. That being said, we actually introduce you, we have some learning material on a lot of this, but we will expect you to deeply understand, oftentimes on your own, underpinning technologies that these security concepts rely on. You'll need to know Linux. You'll need to know Python. You'll need to know SQL. And we teach you Linux and SQL. We don't teach you Python. You should be able to learn Python as a junior in computer science on your own. You'll need to know JavaScript, HTML, Flask, data encodings, networking, assembly, debugging, a bunch of other stuff that you, as a computer scientist, will need to learn to pass this class. You need to learn how to learn. And in many ways, that's what this class will teach you to do. Through constant, awesome learning, it'll teach you to learn. All right. Over the course of the semester, as we keep pushing farther and further and further into awesomeness, you're going to have hacking downloaded into your brain. Not as, seamlessly and easily as Neo did, right? They jacked him up and boom, he knows Kung Fu. You will know hacking, but it's going to be a much tougher problem, a much tougher process. But by then, you'll be able to show people that you know hacking. And that's going to be really cool. And that's hard to put a value on that type of fun. Okay, this class is hard. I've said this class is hard. I've said it takes a lot of time. I've said it's constant. I said you need to learn a lot of things. Well, you say, Jan, I'm panicking right now. I've only ever had type 1 fun. I don't even know what type 2 fun is going to be like. How can I succeed? Well, we got you. First, respect the material. Please, even if you have sped through computer science so far, be prepared that some of this stuff might be extremely difficult. Don't blow it off. Don't ignore the lecture videos. Don't ignore the underlying concepts. Don't think, screw it, I'll figure it out last minute. Respect the material. And in fact, think about a new thing. Instead of procrastinating, precrastinate. Finish it as early as possible. Module launched Monday. Just do it. Let's just go and do the module. That's great. This class has these checkpoints. We'll talk about it in the syllabus review. It's a feature of the course where you get extra part of your point, part of your grade relies on getting to a certain point in a certain time. Oftentimes, people get to that point, they stop. And that's fine by the grading system. We're not going to force you to constantly be working. My advice to you, constantly be working. Anytime that there's more you can do in the class, just do it then. Don't wait until the deadline. Because again, you have to respect the material. You don't know how much this next challenge, this next concept is going to take for you to master. This is kind of a, so I might as well say, don't do bad in the class, but don't fall behind. If you need to make a call where, okay, I need to, I don't know, not go to this cool party and work on the homework and make sure that I can get this in time, do that. As you fall behind, because the class always has modules live, it's very difficult to catch up. If you do fall behind, the way that the class is structured, we explore a lot of different concepts. It is a survey course on cybersecurity. If you fall behind on concept A, let it go. There's a catch up. There's one catch up week at the end. Do it then. Focus on what is currently critical, currently live, the current assignment for you to do. I've had students that have fallen behind and refused to leave the concept behind. They fall behind on concept B. On concept C, they're trying to catch up on concept B. By the time concept D rolls around, they're trying to catch up on concept C, and it just spirals. Cut the losses, move on to the next one. The concepts build on each other, sometimes directly. In that case, you might have to go back and do concept B later. But typically, the concepts, it's about half and half. About half the concepts aren't directly relevant. The skills you build up doing those challenges, learning this stuff, learning how to learn, that applies. But sometimes some of the modules are independent enough for you to be able to cut your losses in that regard. All right. Ask the right questions. The next bullet point. What does this mean? We have a Discord. The Discord is the only place that you can collaborate, but you can collaborate on it. Oftentimes, this means saying, I have no idea what is going on here, and I need help. And that's fine. We encourage students to help each other. We have an awesome TA team that is there to help you. We have amazing community members that are helpful and nice to others that can help out. But you need to ask the right questions. If you show up and you say, hey, I need help on level 5, that's not an actionable question. If you show up and say, solve on level 5, anyone solve level 5? Anyone, all of this stuff, it doesn't build you understanding. It doesn't help you think about the problem. It just outsources that material on someone else, and people are less likely to ask, to help and answer your question. If you show up and you say, hey, on level 5, I am running into this strange situation that when I set this web cookie, this part of the code crashes, and I think it's because of that, but I can't quite figure out how to test this hypothesis. Now this is an actionable question. It's a good question. Try to ask good, actionable questions. Try to focus on concepts so that the gaps in your mind can be filled in and you can build on top of that. Don't show up and say, hey, can I ask someone about something? Right? Just ask it and ask it well. Now, you can also ask GPT. And in fact, we encourage AI help. We provide an AI called Sensei that is there to help you learn. Sensei is GPT. It's backed by GPT-5. Our GPT-5 that we pay for, OpenAI's GPT-5 that we pay for on your behalf. It's likely better than the GPT-5 you have access to, unless you also pay OpenAI. But anyways, that's beside the point. We've also tailored it with some specific knowledge about the challenges, et cetera. But like with any LLM help you have to use it extremely cautiously. A couple of things. If you go to Sensei and it gives you code, it's been told not to give you solutions. We've done our best. Every once in a while, Sensei will give you code and you'll copy paste it. This happens. I would urge you, any code you copy paste out of an LLM, don't. Sit down, write it, and understand what it's doing and why. Because chances are it's going to be wrong. And if you have LLM code that's wrong and you don't understand enough to have written it in the first place, this is an irrecoverable situation. We have instructed the TAs, because this happens so much, when faced with clear LLM code or LLM brain, they have been told to not help you. They've been told to say, no, please go and do this on your own without an LLM, and then ask actual intelligent questions and not, my LLM code doesn't work. So that's one pitfall of relying on Sensei too much. If you go and rely on GPT altogether, just your own GPT, your own Gemini, your own whatever you use, and it gives you code that happens to coincide with someone else's code, you just got busted for academic integrity. We have no way of checking that GPT gave it to you. We can check if Sensei did. So if Sensei gives two people the same code and say, I got it from Sensei, we can double check that. But we can't double check GPT, raw GPT. We can't double check Gemini, Claude, whatever. I would strongly urge you not to use those tools. And in fact, if you use Sensei even, be careful. There are correct ways to use it and incorrect ways. And we do research on this. We have data, real, high quality, extensive data. What's a good way to ask questions? Ask about concepts. Fill in your conceptual gaps. Bounce ideas back and forth. Bounce questions. Say, I don't understand why blah, 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 blah happens when I do blah, 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 blah. I suspect it's blah, 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 blah. Is that correct? Have these conversations. Slow and steady. Read the responses. And over time, what we have observed is students that interact with LLMs in that way, their grades go up, or at least that interaction is correlated with higher grades. Students that go and say, hey, solve this for me. Sensei has been told, don't solve things for people. Help them solve it. Sensei says no. They keep needling, they start, jailbreaking the AI, and eventually the AI gives in. Hopefully GPT-5 is better with this. But we didn't have GPT-5 last semester. GPT-4o, which was last semester Sensei, not so good at resisting. It resists, but it is fallible. Those students were correlated with lower grades because there's only so far you can take it. And at that point, because we have designed the whole platform, the whole class, to gradually teach you each concept through stepping stone challenges, if you AI the stepping stones, you suddenly hit a wall that you didn't step up to. And the AI can't solve it for you. And you end up with LLM code you don't understand. The TAs won't help you. And you are screwed. So please use AI safely. Use it for conceptual help. Use it to point you in the right direction. Don't use it to actually solve the challenges. So I've left you with a lot of wisdom, a lot of things to think about. Where you go from here is a choice I leave to you.